Oh, good morning. Good morning. It's Monday, right? It's Monday. Figure I'd go live for a minute. It's going to be a shorter live feed. Um, got a couple of trucks we got to tend to pretty quickly, but I'm waiting on a list. So let's get my email up here. Anyways, looks like some notifications went out, but not all, right? So, anyways, good morning. I hope you all had either a pleasant or a profitable or both weekend. Um, I hope that life is treating you well. We had a pretty good weekend ourselves. I watched uh, I watched some jousting over the weekend. It was pretty neat. So we went to the Ozark Empire Fair, which is happens every year. It's been happening for many, many, many years. Um, Basically a county fair. It's not the state fair, but it's pretty close. It's pretty big, and there was, they have the carney rides and all that, of course, which I don't partake in those, but they have all the animals out there, and they had a lot of vendors. I bought some Damascus knives. It was pretty neat, but there was also this jousting group. They had the medieval armor thing going on, and it was pretty neat. It's on my Facebook. I posted it on Facebook. So, anyways, notifications are not working today, so there's that. Um, there's Let's take a look at load ratios this morning. So, anyways, oh, in the last live feed I did, my weekend live, someone was trolling me and tried to insert their caged up lower regions. It was kind of gross. You wanted to put that on the StreamYard, so there's that. So you got to love the trolls, right? That's why that's those of you who haven't used StreamYard. So here's how it works. So if I put the link out there and you want to come in, I can see you on the screen, right? Before I click on the screen, right? If I don't recognize the name, if I don't recognize the person, I don't bring you on. It's just that simple. So, but anyways, looks like the southeast is looking pretty good. Let's do a couple of things here. We'll get both low boards up here. I use two low boards. One is the DAT and the other one's 123. I don't get paid by either one of the low boards to promote, so I have a new client that's starting this week, and he was asking me which low boards I use, and I told him that I use more than one tool. You have Truck Smart, which is essentially an app that shows basically the bigger carriers or bigger brokerages. Um, there's DOFT, the DOFT board. That one's pretty good. So if the DAT goes out, 123 is a good option. DOFT is a good option. I believe Trucker Path has a low board. And then each, like CH Robinson, Coyote, they have their own boards. A lot of brokerages are creating their own boards because they want to create their own analytics, create their own tracking software. So, I mean, there's a lot of options out there. And my suggestion is to have them all. That way you can. The only one I don't use is Internet Truck Stop or truckstop.com, whatever it's called now. I was not. Now, at the truck shows, they give away cool free t shirts, but that's about it. They won't give you a free trial. I know that they're better for flatbed, and right now I'm not dispatching any flatbed trucks, so there's that. Um, but 123 actually has a really good flatbed um, platform as well. So, anyways, we'll share the screen on this. We'll do some shout outs first. Should we do the shout outs first? There's not too many people in here, so we'll do a share screen first. There's that. There's the 123. This is for van. Oh wait, no, this is all trailer types. Let me change this to van. That's van. Now Arkansas and Oklahoma, that really kind of surprises me. Well, not Oklahoma, but Arkansas at least. So look at Utah. What's going on over here? So essentially, what you want to do is when you see something like this, you're like, okay, why is Utah suddenly green? Huh, that's interesting, right? West Virginia is always red, so be really careful. If you're going to go to West Virginia, you want to go someplace that you're either near Virginia or near Ohio. You don't want to be smack dab in the middle of the state. Let's see. Let's go to reefer. Idaho. I imagine that's probably potatoes. Here in a couple of months, it won't be long before you start seeing Christmas trees out of Washington and Oregon and Michigan. Now, I will say this: last few times we've gone grocery shopping, the produce is looking pretty thin. We've talked about that. There is definitely a drought that's affecting crops. And there's flatbed. As you can see, the southeast is still pretty hot. These two states, now the rates don't reflect Oregon being green. The rates coming out of Oregon are pretty horrible. In fact, you get better money coming out of California than you do Oregon. So a lot of times you got to look at these maps with a grain of salt. I mean, you got people like, well, I don't pay attention to tools. Okay, whatever floats your boat. But the reality is the first two loads I'm going to book today are probably going to be from an email, not from any of these boards. So here's the DAT. These are van load ratios. Look at California. California's flipped again, 1674 going in and 1286 coming out. And so what happens is they're still pushing low rates to go into California when, because they think you're going to get it out. Now you can sit there and say, look, man, volumes in California dropped. I need more money to go in, especially if you got a broker or a steady contract getting out of there. You can really kind of utilize the same tools, the same techniques that the brokers use on you, you can use on them. It's part of the game. It's part of playing the game. Let's see. Look at Florida. 1855 going in, only 646 coming out. Georgia's even Steven right here. 1208 in, 1282 out. Illinois proper now, 1438 going in, 1660 coming out. Indiana's good. Kansas is better than it has been. Kentucky is about even. Look at Massachusetts, more in than out. Michigan is pretty even. Minnesota, a little lopsided there. Missouri, 561 in, 805 out. Now, the other thing I'm going to look for is how do these volumes raise up? Because this is by the hour. You refresh that. These numbers change by the hour. Look at Maine, 91 in, 259 out. So I'd like to know what they're shipping out of Maine. Pennsylvania, 1374 in, 1903 out. So these brokers that push the cheap narrative to get out of Pennsylvania, call them out. 833, 1068, Wisconsin. So anyways, let's do some shout outs here. Greg Zimmer, good morning. Let's make some money today. Yes, absolutely. Man, today might be even shorter. Almost like Jeffrey Light here. Let's see, Pam, good morning. Cool Trucking, good morning. Big Houston, good morning. Pneumatic Brit, first in from Minnesota. Good deal. Mr. Charles, good morning. Jose, everybody got their notification. Thank you. Eddie, what's up? Just checking in, throwing up a like and gotta get down the road. Thank you. I appreciate that. I thought you were saying you were throwing up. CPAP, what's up, man? How's it going? Shannon, good morning at home. Waiting for truck update. LOL. Oi. Shannon learned a lesson this week. She was told that her truck would be done at a certain time, so she did not. So she just got a hotel instead of just going home. I don't know how close. I know home is closer than what could be. So now you're at sometimes. So the trick is when your truck's in the shop, away from the house. Do you get a rental car and go home, or do you get a hotel for X amount of days? So if you can get a week-long car rental, that's usually not as bad price-wise than just like one direction. And if as long as they got it done for the week, you're only spending maybe an extra $40 a day for the car versus an extra $60 to $100 a day in a hotel. So besides the gas to get home and the time, so it's tough because these shops tell you, well, Tuesday we should have everything, and then Tuesday comes along like, yeah, we're not going to get this done till next Monday. It's tough, right? It's tough. Don't come near me. I don't want you stealing all my loads. See, that sucks about your truck. Hopefully it'll be up and running soon, says C Pat. You will when you get a $700 tow bill. Let's see. Onions are starting to kick up. Oregon, Washington, Idaho will all be green in the near future. That's good. It's still early. Wait till after 9 a.m. Eastern. Yeah. I have found some consistency lately, but have to deal with working out of Florida. Yeah, I mean, what part of Florida, Chucky? I might be able to help you out with that. I've been running the same load for a month or so. Good deal. Fate Trucking, good morning. New Jersey, look at you. Oser, good morning. Yes, rent a car just one day to get home, stay home for free. Then next expense will be car to get back. Pale Rider, what's up? How's it going, Pale Rider? So one of the things that you can look at, like I had a buddy of mine whose truck went in the shop. He rented a car, and then he just kept the car all week because it was cheaper than a One Direction and then getting another One Direction car. And then again, if you have to extend it a day, you can like, hey, I need this car for another day, and then you just, you can do it that way. So plus you get a rental car for a week. So either way, it's an expense, right? Either way, it's it's part of being an owner operator or a lease operator. Unless you're working for a company that puts you in another truck, which is very hard to find, um, it could be a challenge. Most owner op lease op deals are not set up like that. And then there's truck availability. I believe another YouTuber had talked about wanting to get his company was going to get him a rental truck, but there was none to be had, and he couldn't get to them anyways. So I mean, there's you don't want to just assume, I'll just get a rental. It's not as easy as you think. It's not as cheap as you think either. Rental trucks, even a day cab for a day is pretty high. Big, huge deposit you need. I mean, they don't just hand you over a truck like they do rental cars, right? Sage, good morning. How are you? It's 52 for the day or 350 for the week. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. That's good. Let's see. Just Lakeland, we have been finding stuff, but it's definitely thin or cheap some weeks. Yeah, I mean, look, volumes should be coming back up a little bit. I know that short haul can be a challenge in some areas, and long haul is still okay. But pretty much the people making money right now are the ones that are anytime, anywhere, or multi-stop or both. That's kind of where we're at. That's the market that we're in right now. We got spoiled for the last couple of years, and now we're paying for that. So just some food for thought. So got my Snorelord coffee mug. CDN, what's up? Yeah, I think I was looking at a load out of Florida. It was $1.60 a mile to go from Florida to Kansas City, and that's kind of the trick is the short hop somewhere, take the hit for a short hop, and then grab that banger up to Michigan. If that's what you're doing. Yeah, I like it. I like my mug. It seems kind of silly to have my name on crap. I mean, it's not even a band. Like if I had a band, it might be a difference. I mean, I do have a band, but it's not called Snorelord. So, but oh, that'd be kind of cool. Merchandise a little bit. Other people are doing it. Why can't I? So, Mr. Berger, how are you? Have you put up a video lately? 5G is crap. I can't send out my BOLs. That's crazy. Um, is it not going through the app, or is it just in general? Because you might have to send an email to our email address. Those of you who don't know, Truck for Life, who's also a YouTuber, check out his channel. He is now over here at Like Trucking. Hey, you're supposed to be on vacation, LOL. Ah, that's why. That's why we haven't seen a video from Mr. Berger in a minute. So, haven't done anything lately. I don't blame you. Sometimes you just got to get to the grind, and I've done a recorded video in forever. Hopefully, it'll change this week, depending on how my workload is. Gaining a new client on Tuesday. So, and then still waiting back for another one from the same carrier. So we'll see what that does, and then until I can streamline this and do it from the road, I'm kind of stuck at home for a minute. So yeah, that's what we've been doing. Short hop and longer one to Michigan, deliver Monday to be able to pick up load back to Florida. There you go. Chucky is figuring it out. I don't know why, but my sticks are skyrocketing pre-market this morning. Yeah, my stocks. Okay. I wonder, like, well, what are you doing with sticks? But yeah, everything's kind of. Let's see what that looks like for me. Mine have all gone down. I've lost $25 to this morning so far. So good on you, Shannon, for picking better crap than I have. So, and here it is. Christmas stuff going to Kohl's. You called it last week. There you go. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for verifying what I was suspecting. Christmas freight is starting now. It doesn't start in September, doesn't start in October. It starts in August. Halloween started last month. Um, if you are reefer, you should start seeing an influx of candy. You should start seeing an influx of frozen meat. People getting ready for holidays. If you are dry van, you should be seeing an influx of everything. You now that sporting events are a thing again, you're going to start seeing the materials and products related to sports events, such as snacks, beverages, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. Um, just like in February, you start seeing an uptick of like charcoal. I live near. There's literally 3 charcoal places near me that you can pick up. Basically Boss, Missouri, West Plains, Missouri, and Branson, Missouri. So the Christmas stuff is rolling now. So the idea is they want to kind of and here's what you're going to notice. Okay, this is for dry van people. This is for you dry van. So what you're going to see is Walmart. You're going to suddenly see a brokerage have a ton of loads going to all the different Walmarts, DCs from one shipper. So we'll use the shipper in the O show. You'll see all the different Walmart DCs in the locations of when you do this long enough, you look at a load board, you look at a location. Okay, Sterling, Illinois, that's Walmart DC. St. James, that's a Walmart DC. Bentonville, 99% chance that it's going to be a DC, Walmart DC. Same thing with Dollar General, right? And then all of a sudden you see all the Dollar General stuff at once. Ardmore, Dollar General. Indianola, Mississippi, Dollar General. Joliet, no, Joliet is Dollar Tree. You'll and then the targets. So recognizing the cities that have these DCs is important. And you'll notice that they all ship at once, right? They all ship for about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, depending on what the product is from one shipper. And then it goes to, for 2 weeks it'll be Walmart, and then for 2 weeks it'll be Dollar General, and then 2 weeks it'll be Target. And those are the things that you try to recognize. Those are the things where my experience has paid off on booking my truck and booking other trucks, is knowing these things, seeing these things. And if Sean's at Schneider, you see the same thing. Now, what Sean needs to start dealing with, or has to start dealing with, is that a lot of places will use a carrier like Schneider to ship the product, and then it goes to the OCs. It goes to the Schneider yards. It goes to the Swift yards. It goes to the US Express yards, and it just sits there, and then a day cab will deliver it. They'll use basically the trailer and the yard as storage because it eliminates the high shipping cost. Because granted, if something has to ship in October versus now, they're going to get a better rate now than they will in October as far as their rate. For us, it's the other way around. So these are the things that you have to kind of keep in mind when it comes to dry van. Reefer and flatbed have similar ebbs and flows, that you have to recognize. Flatbed is dependent more on equipment and commercial and residential material sales, like building, things of that nature. Reefer is dependent on food, pharmaceuticals, and has hazardous materials and freeze protect. So in the wintertime, if you need a load of Coca-Cola going to North Dakota, they're going to put that on a reefer and they're going to adjust accordingly. So these are the things that you have to kind of keep in mind. This is where it's important to me. It's important to have a notebook. If this is your first year in the spot market, to write down, have a journal. That's what I did the first 3 years. I had a journal that told me everything, what I was dealing with at that time. So now I would go back that journal and I would look, okay, at this time of year, I was doing this kind of freight and I was making X amount. And I wouldn't pay attention to the actual amount as much as I would the increase, the percentage increase. So if I saw that rates went up about 20% during a time period, my journal would tell me why that happened. And it may seem redundant, it may seem pointless. Steve, you're overcomplicated, man. Just pick a load and go. Be a good negotiator. I have my methods, you have yours, right? And I know that experience from running a lot of the same lanes and seeing what the other lanes are doing. Yes, did I run a very narrow field when I was running full time? Absolutely. But it doesn't mean that I don't know how to look at other areas and utilize them. It doesn't mean that I don't know how to look at a low board. Schneider, same way. You had Schneider guys, and I was one of them that ran pretty much a lot of the same stuff over and over. CPAP probably did it. Berger probably did that when they were over there. And then all of a sudden those loads disappear because they either went to the company side or they use Swift or somebody else in that space. And so now you've got to adapt. It's that adaptation. It's the ability to look at a low board and make money from any direction. The ability to recognize what works and what's not working and be able to recover from the mistakes, because you will make mistakes. I mean, that's all there is to it. So that's what keeps you above the rest, right? Eric, you still available? Yeah, he's still got the same number. Another pumpkin here going to IC. Penny, you get winter jackets. Shannon's because a crazy anti-inflation bill is going to get passed and government is trying to push the bad news further downrange. No, we're talking about the stocks. Empty trailer searches are going to be tougher for the next few months with the megas because of DCs using trailers for storage. Right. Charles also knows that game with the trailers. So your trailer pool is going to be all messed up. My dedicated loads have picked up lately. Good deal. And there it is. Sage just confirmed my answer to Chucky there. So, I mean, look, it's about adapting, right? It's about the ability to sometimes go beyond your comfort zone. Like if there weren't any loads going to Oklahoma or Ohio, then I went elsewhere. I went up to Michigan. I went up to Minnesota. I actually went to PA. It's not that hard. And again, I've ran all states except for Nevada. And it's not that hard. You've got the tools, you've got several load boards, you've got analytics. So why do so many apps want to know your location? Well, first of all, if you order something from Amazon, you want to know where it's at, right? But the other aspect is they're using your information. Pretty much data mining is the new thing to make money. It's actually an old thing to make money with. But so if they can get real time real time analytics, that's how they're pricing things nowadays. I mean, they don't go by the week, they don't go by the month, they don't go by the day, they go by the minute. And if all of a sudden there's an influx of trucks in Atlanta at noon, guess what? The bigger brokerages have the analytic detail of you know what, stay at this amount because there's going to be this many trucks at this time. And that's it's basically AI. It's basically real time analytics to save every small penny that they can, and you have to use the same things against them. You know, if you go to a bad area, you're at their mercy. If you need to go to a specific area, you're at their mercy. That's where your sales and your negotiation tactics have to come in. But I guarantee that if you wait around out of Denver for $4 a mile, you ain't going to get it, right? Why is that? Well, because carriers are taking cheap freight. No, it's because you either take something or you don't. And same thing with Florida. You have a choice. You could take something on the cheap, or you can go. Because when you have, like here it says Florida, when you have a load ratio that says 2,050 loads going in and only 209 or 709 coming out, you'll be lucky to get $1.60. You'll be lucky to get $1.80, unless you pick up something north and you go right back south. So it's a law of averages too. For every load to Florida, you better be getting it going in than coming out. It's part of the game. That's how it works. But the real winning is when you can get a good rate, a consistent rate, a consistently good rate, no matter which direction you go in. That's how it is. All right, Burger, enjoy your vacation if that's what you're doing, or at least enjoy your time with the kids. So, but anyways, that's kind of how it is. That's the name of the game. And if you don't like playing the game, if you don't like calling brokers, then hire a dispatch service like myself. I deal with that aggravation. I deal with the strategies. But if you want dedicated, contract freight, you got to go out and get it, or at least find the brokers that have it, so you can just run for that one broker. So. This trucker's live. Good morning, Davenport, Iowa. I was looking, let's see what Iowa is looking like. 401, 463, so pretty even. Depending on what parts of Iowa you're going. Now, I will say that these low volumes are a lot lower. Let's see if I can come up with let's do this here. I'm going to find another page here. And this kind of give me an idea of what volumes are like. All right, we're going to share the screen again. This is van. Red is good, blue is bad. That's your low volumes right now in van. This is flatbed. A lot more red and yellow and orange on that one, huh? So when you look at this, if you're flatbed, you don't want to go, if you're going here, you want to get a killer rate. If you want to be consistent, this is your jam right here, depending on what your equipment abilities are. In the wintertime, if this is still red, that's going to be your jam because no one wants to go up there in the wintertime. But it has a lot more risk. And then this is because of the ports, the materials that we order from other countries to, they get shipped in. And then, of course, here's reefer. Look at reefer. A few more shades that aren't blue. Just as a comparison, look at man. That's why your rates are down. That's why the brokers are hanging up on you. That's why they're not answering your emails. Because of this right here. How do you remain consistent with a map like that? It's tough. You got to be on your A game. And you know what? A lot of people came into this not having any game. I help you with the game. That's what I do. You're going to have a day where you call and every single load, they're going to hang up on you, or there just isn't anything. How do you deal with that? How do you persist through that? And then some of you are going to ask, is it worth it to persist through that? But that's the market right there. That's it. That's the market in dry van. And so you look at the reds. I'm like, okay, why is Ohio red? Why is Eastern Pennsylvania red? Why is New York City red? Why is Southern Missouri yellow? You know, what freight is causing that? You know, like this around here around LA, that's port freight. That's your Christmas rate right there. Okay. This is Christmas freight along the border here. And then as the year progresses, New Mexico will turn a little bit orange where you see all the pumpkin farms. And you'll notice that brokers will stop paying you to go into New Mexico because they're going to assume you're going to get out. Same thing happens with watermelons. Same thing happens with Christmas trees. Same thing happens with potatoes and onions. In van and reefer. So I mean, this is what you're looking at. And so when you're struggling to get out somewhere, take a look at these maps. Now I'm not saying, oh well, I'm going to a blue shaded state. I might as well not even negotiate. I'm not saying that at all. But just know that you're going to have a fight. That's how it works. That's how it is. And if you're not willing to play that game, then, I hope everyone's been taking notes. Best spot market inside information you can find, courtesy of Snorelord. Thank you. Thank you, CDN. I appreciate that. If you can find a shipper who's also a carrier, probably a pretty good contract. Yes. Absolutely. I'm on a dedicated route. Case IH, New Holland. Nothing else touches my 53 LP step deck. Good deal. Good deal. Not necessarily because the shipper with their own fleet will put priority on their own trucks and only offer loads when they have surplus to ship. Well, like yeah, I mean, there's that, but usually it's overflow anyways, right? Cash is king. What's up? Hey now. I should have prefaced my comment with a small carrier who cares about his contractors' employees with the same, which is probably rare. It is. Ports are moving from west to east, right? Which is why, if you look at the dry van, that's the other thing. So let's share that screen again. That's why there's less red here than there is around here in Houston. That's a big port area. A lot of people don't realize that. So get your TWIC cards. Maybe. I don't know. I don't have a TWIC card. So the groundwork should have been established over the last couple of years to help navigate a map like that. If you don't have relationships for that, then use Snorelord as a dispatcher. There you go. Hi, Cash. Got me some last night. That's gross. Because he has them contracts. You know, when I became a truck driver, going through CDL school, I went to a good CDL school. It wasn't just a CDL mill. It was they actually cared whether you got a job. They actually cared that you knew how to back. You had to live and eat and breathe the entire package, right? And the ones that did that did pretty well. The ones that didn't do that, that's just my job at McDonald's, but they treated it like that. Then you didn't do as well. And the spot market's the same way. I mean, if you don't like looking at low boards, and if you don't like, worrying about the fluctuations, then you have to create your own consistency. Well, how do you do that? You find the people that have that consistency and you do what they do. It's as simple as that. There's no formula. There's no magic key. There's no natural talented insight. It's just a matter of figure out who's figured it out, and then do what they do. It's as simple as that. It's like, I know people that won't go in the spot market because they think it's complicated. Yeah, there's some complexities to it, but there's also a lot of simplicities to it as well. And the lower your cost, the more flexibility you have. The lower your cost, the more mistakes you can make. Oh wow, I didn't realize that Albuquerque, New Mexico wouldn't have anything. I'm going to lose a day dealing with this, or I'm going to have to do a load at $1 a mile just to get out, or deadhead and lose a whole day. When your costs are low, you can make those mistakes. It's as simple as that. Bill, what's up, man? Thank you very much. That's a very expensive advertisement for Cash is King. Thank you very much, Bill. I appreciate that. I'm gonna keep that up there for a minute. And that's what you have. I mean, it's part of playing the game. That's all it is. Like, for example, when I was in a band and we were playing out, there was politics within the band that you had to deal with. There was politics with local promoters and that you had to deal with. There was politics with the local establishments, the bars, the clubs. And then you were strategizing budgets for merchandise and travel, and you were networking with as many bands. Say, hey, if we get you a gig here in Springfield, you get us a gig in your town. And you hoped that they knew how to promote. You hoped that they had a crowd. You hoped that they had all these different things. And you did the show once, you're like, oh wow, this kind of sucks. This area sucks, or this promoter sucks, or this venue sucks. And you had to really entrench yourself. You weren't just 4 people showing up on a stage doing what you did. you could simplify it to that, but there was other strategies involved with that. So anything that you want to do well, you've got to entrench yourself into it. You really, I mean, even as a company driver, know your lanes, know your shippers, receivers, know your dispatcher or low planners tactics. Know what that carrier's freight is. That's what I did when I was a company driver. And because I provided good service, guess what? I got the cream of the crop loads. And then when I got a crappy load, I'd call my dispatcher, dude, what I do to tick you off? And he would laugh and he said, no, this is the only thing we got right now. Okay. And I would just do it. I wouldn't complain. You learn all. I mean, it can be as simple as that, right? I've never watched that show, but that's funny. I bought some Damascus knives at the fair, and I was bartering with the guy. I was like, hey, let's negotiate a number here, because and my leverage was that I was going to buy more than one, but also I knew they didn't want to pack them all up and go home. That's the thing. Hit a yard sale right before they close. I used to do that. I used to pack up my 5x8 utility trailer. I go to yard sales. I look them up on Craigslist. I'm like, and I come in. I'm like, I'll give you $20 for all of it, and I'll even load it in my trailer for you. Done. And then and these were things that I could sell each for $20. That's how I survived the summers when I was a school bus driver, and it was fun. I enjoyed doing that. I would do that again if we had a platform to sell. But shipping, and there's no more like outdoor swap meets in this area. Well, there's one, but it's not great. Now farmers markets are the end thing, and you can't just bring a bunch of junk to a farmers market. They hate that. So, but I had to entrench myself. I had to really kind of live, eat, and breathe it to do it. And the spot market is the same way. Dad has a heat map. I would place myself in areas where load to truck ratios are best and wait until the afternoon to book one when the brokers get itchy to move their obligatory freight. Yeah, I mean that's how it's done. Tyrannus, what's up? I don't know if I said hi to you or not. No. Anyways, that's kind of Bill's right. The heat maps. That's exactly what I was just showing you. That's exactly what I was just showing you. Was the heat maps. They all the low boards have it. All the low boards have it. Knowing seasons dictates market trends throughout specific reasons, positioning your equipment is key. Right. Especially if you're, I mean, I guess in all platforms, flatbed, things probably are a downtick during the wintertime. Reefer, things are probably a downtick in early winter. That's when you go from hauling, the latest, greatest food to just freeze protect. So so you anticipate lower rates. And then if your costs are low, then you sit out the slow seasons if you wanted to. I mean, people at Landstar that did that all the time. Yeah, I don't run from January 1st to March 1st. And I know guys that own carriers. They have a truck. They don't run it a whole lot, but they'll run the full month of December, including during Christmas, because that's when they're going to make their most money. So just knowing your seasons, knowing your lanes, knowing your rates. There's more to it than just calling the broker and trying to get as much as you can. There's more to it than that. You got to know your lanes, and see. Well, we always preach that, right? We're like, you got to know your lanes. Well, how do you figure that out? These maps. You figure out. Usually, you make that one mistake where you go to the target for the first time. You're like, oh wow, That was a long unload time. I had to cancel 2 loads because of that, because I wasn't aware of that. You do it once and then you remember that. Same thing with Walgreens, CVS. All those take long. I don't care who you are. That's why the big carriers come in and do drop trailers with those places. Or like, hey, you know what? This is a drop trailer load. I'm going home. Make some money that way. You know, once got $1,500 for a 200-mile load because I dropped the trailer for a couple of days over the weekend. Easy money. And I didn't even have to worry about where I was parking my trailer. So, what's up? What's up, TJ? So, anyways, think about these things this week, right? See if that doesn't help you. Look, if you look at the hot market maps and you still can't make any money, then feel free to curse me out. Okay? Feel free to curse me out. Get stuck in a bad area, you'll remember. And you know, and look, Pam's new to the spot market, so I highly encourage everybody to network with good drivers that have been doing it a minute. Don't take my word for it. Don't completely just like, Steve, you're an idiot. I know that there's at least 2 people thinking that right now. Steve, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Fine. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Find the driver that does. Find the people that you think does know what they're talking about. And you'll succeed. That's it. It's as simple as that. Bill with another $49. Thank you very much, Bill. Wow, thank you. I appreciate that. And that's the direction I'm trying to take the channel is you know, I look at DIY and I look at Cash, and they're doing great things with their channels. And that's the direction I'm trying to head, because I'm not driving right now. So you know, but I still want to be relevant because I am booking loads for several trucks. In fact, I got to get off here because I got to get to work. So thank you for the $49.99. I appreciate that. CDM says great show today, Steve. Thank you. But I prefer to network with idiots. What advice do you have for someone like me? I know nothing when he's being a smart ass. If you network with idiots, look at the results. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Wow, look at that. Bill, man, you're going to keep this video going. Is there any wiggle room on that load? It's look, negotiating isn't that. There's no science to that. Just don't be an ass. And just know the canned responses. That's all I got in it. That's green screen money. No, green screen's got to be donated directly. Sage. Negotiating and understanding the other side. That's why Sage and I are friends, because he was able to teach me what brokers go through, what their aspects are, what maps they look at, you know, and you got to understand the canned responses and your response to them. Hey, that's all I got in it. Well, you know, if you get to a point where you get desperate, or, you know, not desperate, if you get to a certain point, you know, and that changes, or if you're able to get some more money from the customer, I know that they're kind of hard to deal with, those kind of things, you know, being able to have a conversation. Now that's hard sometimes when all they do is like answer the phone. Yeah. Is this so-and-so brokerage? Yeah. You got a load posted? Yeah. It's this and this, $500. That's all I got in it. Like, Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Click. You just don't deal with that. You just don't. And keep track of the brokers that do that. Keep track of the brokers that don't email you back. Don't give them the time of day. And don't put yourself in a position where they're the only thing that you can rely on. Holy crap, Bill. What? Oh my gosh. Dang, Bill. Are you and Sage like conspiring to make me get this green screen? Wow. Oh, look at Sage. Sage is laughing because he didn't have to put up that money. Wow, Bill, thank you very much. Um, if you guys would, let me do this here. I'm going to put this email in the chat. If I could type. If you want to email me your address, guys, on the members or the super chats, I will. I'm going to be sending out some prizes, so I appreciate that. It's all been planned between Sage and I. Oh, see, that's funny. Well, looks like I got to get something now, huh? Damn, thanks to Bill, my dispatcher's going to do it. No, no, I got to get to work. I got to get to work. You guys are awesome. Look, someone's going to make some money out here. Go, Bill. Someone must be making, right? Cassius King joining the party. Thank you very much. Make Snorelord show booth. No, we're not that kind of a channel. We're not that kind of a channel. So, well, that's a great way to start a week, right? Thanks, Bill. You are awesome. Um, yeah, if you want a prize, just give me an email, shoot me your address, and I'll make it happen. So, guys, I got to get off here. I got to get to work. I've got drivers dependent on me. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. Thanks for the super chats. Holy moly! And you guys are awesome. I appreciate that. And and again, take my information with a grain of salt because I haven't figured it out perfectly. But the important part is that you always keep trying. So, with that being said, strength for today, hope for tomorrow. I'll leave you with this. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.